from a different perspective. We've heard a lot today in terms of Sher Azam, the professional, the servant for the community. But I and quite a number of the people here in the audience know him from a completely different vantage. And that is in terms of the family man, the man who is there for his relatives, his cousins, his neighbors, and everybody else in his personal life. I will take you back in a time machine to 1984. There's a little Nadeem who is living not too far from here in a street adjacent to Horton Grange Road, just 5 minutes away. Like many a young boy, I am desperate beyond belief to own a computer. Personal computers have become affordable, and I save up diligently for month upon month to have enough money to be able to buy my dream computer. I do a weekend job, an evening job. It comes to the point when I have enough money in order to be able to buy the computer that I want. I'll let you know in a second. Good one. And I contact Sher Azam. He very kindly takes me to a place called Empire Electro Centre. Some of you may recall, this was a huge superstore which sold all manner of electronic items, and everything under the sun. The equivalent of a Curry's, let's call it. And Sher Azam takes me to Empire Electro Centre. I charge towards the computer that I want to buy, the computer that all the other kids have, the computer that's got the best games on the planet, the Sinclair Spectrum with 48K RAM. And I'm excited beyond belief. This is the thing that I've been dreaming of having for month upon month. And all my mates at school have. Instead of just buying the console and then walking out of Empire Electro Centre, Sher Azam, being the person he is, decides to ask the retailer all manner of questions about the different computers they have for sale there. The features, the functionalities. And his primary concern is not which computer's got the best games, which is what any kid wants, but which computer will be better for my studies and my education and my development. So, after a long discourse and digging into the features of different computers, the person who's selling them to us explains that at that time, most of the schools in and around Bradford and around the country had a computer called the BBC Micro. And he felt that would be better for me. I did not want the BBC. This was a dull workhorse computer. For educational purposes, it was great, but not for games. And Sher Azam veered me towards buying a budget version of the BBC Micro called the Acorn Electron. It had the same programming language as the BBC Micro. I went home that evening being none too pleased with Sher Azam because I wanted the computer of my dreams, and he, in his very gentle and kind way, veered me towards a computer that would be beneficial for me educationally. We don't have time to go into what I then was able to do off the back of that, but I got into programming because I had that device. I couldn't acquire games from my friends because they all had the Sinclair Spectrum or other games-orientated machines. And I couldn't afford to buy games, so I had to get into programming the games. After spending hundreds and hundreds of hours in terms of typing up games from computer magazines, I became interested in programming. Off the back of becoming interested in programming, I began to make computer games myself. I then started to sell computer games on cassette tape, some of you may recall. And my games would be reviewed in computer magazines. It got to the point when I was 16 years old, when I actually became so well known within the coding sphere that I actually received a letter from the USA inviting me to relocate to California to work for what was at that time becoming the best known games producer in the world, Electronic Arts, which some of you may have heard of. Obviously, due to my age, I couldn't move there. And then, fast forwarding and taking our time machine forward, I spent many a year after that working in fields where I was specializing in IT. In 1997, I founded what, as far as I know, is the world's first full-service internet marketing and design agency because of the knowledge I had within IT. And fast forwarding right to the present day, 26 years later, I am still running and managing that agency. It has become my life project. We've had clients in 46 countries around the world, over 1,000 businesses we've served. The point that I'd like to make is I am working in IT and have built the success I have, not off the back of what I've done, but because of Sher Azam rearing me towards buying a computer that would be beneficial for me. Not the flashy one, not the one that had the cool games, but the one that would enable me to live a successful life. And that's indicative of the person that Sher Azam is. There are too many stories to tell, and I see so many family members here in terms of the way that he has assisted and helped us at critical junctures in our life. And I wish there was the time that I could tell you the number of times when Sher Azam has been there for me. But unfortunately, there isn't the time. And Sher Azam would be shy if I mentioned many of these examples, because he is such a humble person. I challenge you to go to the ends of the earth, and you will not find a more self-deprecating, unassuming, humble, modest person than Sher Azam. But of course, humility does not lead to changing the world, to making our society better. The brilliant thing about Sher Azam is that alongside his humility, he is the person who has been able to get things done again and again and again and again. In the face of adversity, as we've heard from quite a number of speakers, when society wasn't always veering in the direction that Sher Azam wanted, but time and time and time again, he's been able to set up projects, execute them brilliantly, and make sure they're a success. There isn't the time to go into each and every one of them, and some of my noble friends have described the projects he's worked on. But just to give a tip of the iceberg and whiz through the projects that Sher Azam has founded and then run. We are talking about Feversham College. We are talking about the Bronte Girls Academy. We are talking about Skolmore Cemetery. We also know about the Bradford Council for Mosques, the Muslim Council of Britain, and of course, this place that we are in today would not exist were it not for the endeavors of Sher Azam and other people here. But he's such a humble person that I'll just share one story with you.
A short one.
Just a short story. Just short, literally just 30 seconds. Despite knowing Sher Azam as well as I do, I have never known until very recently that Sher Azam had an MBE. In all the years I've known him, I have never known. Why? Because he's not the kind of person to advertise that. To this day, I have no idea when he was given the MBE, I've never seen a photograph or a video, where it was given, by whom it was given. That is the measure of the man, and that is the degree of his humility.